When people start to consume states of mind, I think it's important to note that there may be tangents.
I think at first I thought this was going to be a very academic podcast. We filter the world with what we resonate with the most. Damn, I want to do this. I want to do this. Okay, I'm going to start. I think I want to do this. I fall in love. Expect a child out of wedlock.
Because I'm not getting married.
Because this boy is going to be a pimp. What if I get there and I'm like completely full-blown gay?
Conversations with you are very eclectic.
Because like, I should accuse him of being homophobic. Is that what eclectic means? It works against you when the person you're trying to communicate to doesn't understand you. That must have been painful to realize that no one understands. There's a temptation to cry.
But once it comes into your field of awareness, then everything becomes about it.
At school, I call myself a bryologist.
What's going on?
I was like, they call me a bryologist. Some girls like, no, they didn't. You called yourself the Cartesian plane kiss.
Yeah.
I invented the kiss.
You invented it.
I invented it. There's a song by James Blake. Suddenly I'm hit. We were not aware of the car. It just came out of the blue. And from the accident to the hospital, they say I was conscious.
You going through all of that contextualizes states of mind.
It's like an avant-garde painting. You know, it says Tawaka Smukushi. My mom took some shrooms.
Yeah. She was like, no.
This one's they show you fake things. See, I take things personally. So my creative life 2023, I feel like the devil has conquered in that field in my life. No one cares and no one should care. Yeah, it's painful because...
Are you ready for those growing pains? Do you know if your creative life will survive all of that?
It's being caught in between what I desire and what is required. It was emotional for me because I told him, I can't afford what I'm giving you.
I can't.
I've been searching for this book for almost 10 years.
Changing your trajectory 1 degree now lands you in a very different place in 10 years.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. The name is States. Today I'll be speaking with my friend Tawani, or rather he'll be speaking with me. This light is too close. He'll be speaking to me. He came up with this idea that, hey, States, since you still do not know what your podcast is about, what about we have a conversation and I just ask you, like, what is this all about? You know? So this episode is about that. In between, I'll be popping up, to comment, because I'm learning how to do this. I hope you enjoy it. This episode was sponsored by nobody. Let's go. You came up with a suggestion. Let me stop trying to figure out how to explain this.
Yes, be honest about it.
Yeah, I didn't come up with this. In order to explain, like, what I'm doing over here, you've been with me throughout the whole journey, before the journey.
Sure.
So I think I'm going to hand over everything to you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I just think, man, there's gonna be very many questions.
Yeah.
Is that fine?
Yeah.
I think there's gonna be questions that your audience might want to, things they might want to know.
Yeah.
And I think it would be beneficial to share some of those things. So I think I'm gonna start at the beginning. Because when we first spoke about it, we had multiple conversations about it before you actually started.
Yeah.
So I guess my first thing is that describe that journey, because I know I wasn't the only person you were having the conversations with. Describe the journey of it being a thought into the conversations, and then finally recording and editing that first episode.
I think I'd go back to, I think it's 2015.
That's far back.
Yeah. I think 2015, if not 16. I was caught by the gospel of Karl Marx.
Okay.
Picked up a book, Capital, started speaking the language, the means of production,
Sure.
But more than that, advocating for that, I think as soon as a gospel captures your imagination, you base your life off that, you know.
The conviction that comes with it is crazy.
And if it gets someone who's naturally an extremist, they can go very far with that. You know?
I'm laughing because I agree. I agree.
So
Yeah.
I think I have a tendency in life, if I learn something and I feel like it's impacting my life so much, like why the hell is nobody else knowing about this? So I'm gonna let them know about this.
Sure.
And I think I grew up that way. So I was in that space and I was studying a lot of African leaders because I was very interested about the leadership of Africa, how the future looks, the past, you know. And the nature of the people I was reading, obviously, your Steve Biko's, your Frantz Fanon. It's because of the corner that you're at in the world,
Sure.
and the convictions that you have and everything you're exposed to.
Yeah.
You hold on to that. So
Yeah.
I once posted a video on Facebook.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'd say that it's my first one. And it was, I took some time to edit that video. It was about Thomas Sankara.
Sure.
Because I thought of him as like, damn, this great leader who was so young, who changed the name of a nation to like Burkina Faso, which means an upright man.
Sure. Sure.
He was able to eliminate deforestation.
Yeah.
They planted like millions of trees. Like, you know, the guy was doing a lot, you know. And then I did a video on that. But even in the videos, like in the next few videos, I'll also talk about like how not to be killed.
Like do great things and avoid death.
Yeah. Which is funny because right now I'm so interested in death.
Yeah.
So I posted that video. And damn, like there were people who followed me. Their relationships I have right now because of that video.
That's intense. I want to see this video now. Not the topic of discussion, but
No, I'll look for it. It's still somewhere in my hard drives.
yeah.
And I thought I was gonna do like the second one I was gonna do was gonna be on Haile Selassie. But I couldn't finish it. You know, work and life came into. I think there's a reality that I think the person who best captures this thought is Mike Tyson.
Okay.
Just checking the right doctor. It's Mike Tyson when he says, every time you're thinking of this guy that this guy is going to beat me, this guy is going to beat me. And then everyone trains, right? And then he says, you train for almost so many months for this fight, and you can't wait to beat this guy, but you also have this fear that this guy is also capable of beating you, right? But he has this line where he says, everyone has a plan until they're hit in the teeth with a fist.
Then the plan is no more.
So I think being in that space of like speaking the language, our people, the masses, and I think from that position to moving from that position to flip, I need to pay rent.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the fist in the teeth. It's like, flip, by the way, to help liberate other people, like I need to be liberated.
You need to be. And like a form of liberation is financial freedom.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, not that I moved away from it, but I kind of did because I had to focus more on like establishing a company and making sure that the company works, is able to like feed me. I just thought it was going to take some few years.
Ganti.
And I'm still in the process. So I think that video was the first one. I think I already had intentions of doing stuff like online, but around 2015, 16,
Sure.
I was planning on like posting stuff, you know, because I was planning then to migrate to YouTube but I never did, you know.
Yeah.
And now when I change and I become a plant-based guy
Yeah.
slash vegan guy.
Yeah.
And the same way I was pushing Karl Marx's ideas,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
now I'm pushing Dr. Sebi's ideas. Because which is a very powerful thing, because I think we filter the world with what we resonate with the most.
Sure.
So if I resonate a lot with money, then I'll filter everything with money.
That's the lens with which you
Like,
see and
do
view
you have
everything.
money? Can you give me money? Can we exchange? So then you filter everything with money. If it's Carl Jung, it's Carl Jung. If it's Karl Marx, it's Karl Marx. You know?
Yeah.
So my mentor once said this to me, is like, I'm not too concerned about the things that you're communicating to other people and sharing. I'm more concerned about the things that you're intaking.
Yeah.
They are the ones that influence whatever comes out of your mouth. The biggest challenge with starting this content creation thing was fear.
Okay.
It's that, hey man, it would be so weird for you to publicly say this is my stance on something, but then you grow. Then what happens to your stance that you've publicly strongly said? There's a brother who's gonna come through on the podcast. His name is Savelo. He says I once came to him in the quad at Avda.
Yeah.
He was chilling, listening to like earphones, and
Yeah.
and I got there and I took the earphones out and I was like, tell me about everything you know about Thomas Sankara. I wanna correct you. I hope the story is not true, but he says, you did this.
You did this thing.
I don't remember it. So, damn, I want to do this. Okay, I'm going to start. I think I want to do this. I fall in love. Unplanned. So unplanned. Like, I think I had planned that my life is going to be, and the people around my life, Socks would know. It's like I said, even my mom, I told her, I'm like, expect a child out of wedlock.
Because I'm not getting married.
Because this boy is going to be a pimp. This boy is going to run the streets.
Yeah.
And I had made a decision,
Yeah.
And, hey, man, God's ways are just different ways, man. So I ended up in a relationship.
Yeah.
With a friend.
Yeah.
Who's now my wife.
Yeah.
Then that captivated me so much.
The conviction came back. And you know what's interesting in your story, and maybe this may be me deviating from the point, but I think we'll get back to it.
Yeah.
So number one, I think me having known you, it's important for people to know that conversations with you are very eclectic.
Do people in your life use these kind of words? Also, are you the kind of person who, when someone is saying a word you don't understand, do you go like, or do you go like, hold up, that man, I don't know what that word means. I'm kind of illiterate. Doesn't mean you're illiterate, actually. That's the best way for you to learn. When you don't know, ask. When I was a kid, I always used to say axe. My dad would go, Tabo. It's not axe, it's ask. And it always pissed me off. But now I understand that I can't be walking around saying axe.
They go everywhere.
Is that what eclectic means?
I mean, eclectic means derived from, but they...
I don't use that word. I don't know.
They go everywhere.
Yeah.
And then every kind of off-ramp has a reason for being in
it's
the
very valuable
in the conversation, but our tangents tend to last a long time.
Yeah.
I only bring that up because one, I'm about to take you on a tangent, and two, when people start to consume states of mind, I think it's important to note that there may be tangents but ultimately we always come back to the core, and correct me if I'm wrong, the core of just exploring the nature of living from every aspect we can comprehend: psychological, spiritual, physical. So yeah. Anyway, those are the two things I wanted to say about the tangents. Very pertinent to states of mind, but also we are about to go on one.
Yeah, so I think I did a video. I think I should show you that video.
Yeah.
I did a video. My plan was that before I post the episodes,
Yes.
I should like post that video first.
Yeah.
But the name of the video is called Coherency.
I bet there's so much irony in that video.
The video is not a straight line. Like, I talk about this, then when I'm talking about this, I'm like, it reminds me of this. Damn, actually, Carl Jung says this.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, it's like, states coherency.
Yeah.
Coherency.
So ironic.
So when you say that, it's been one of my biggest fears. One of my biggest fears.
Yeah.
That of not making sense. There's
Okay.
a picture on my phone. I screen grabbed it the other day. And the picture is a guy driving a car, and he says something so powerful. I know you'd resonate with this.
Okay.
You can understand me. Okay, now this is a different one.
Yeah. Coherency.
Yeah. It's from a movie Winterlight by a director named Ingmar Bergman from 1963. It says that must have been painful to realize that no one understands. In my coherency,
I'm gonna need you to send me that picture.
I'll send you this.
In your coherency.
No problem.
Yeah.
I'm afraid of it doesn't work. It works against you when the person you're trying to communicate to doesn't understand you. It's like, why are you communicating in the first place? However, every space in my life, it seems to me that I need to be very coherent, which I'm already struggling with. I forgot which philosopher's this. He's like, we undermine how much energy people use just to be normal. So
True.
I think to sit down in a meeting and listen, it's like there's like horror scenes happening.
Yeah.
But I run a company.
You have to sit in the meeting.
It's so ironic, right?
Yeah.
So I think even when you saying that the tangents and the off ramps is like, we'll be talking about this, then we're talking about that.
Yeah.
You asked one question.
Yeah.
And we're here. I don't know how long we're into this, but you asked one question. But either way, it was a big fear.
So yeah, my tangent, I guess, is most people that explore Ukhrasani, Sankara, Biko, that explore that school of conscientizing themselves, which has been broadly labeled Black consciousness and conscientizing ourselves differently about our blackness. The move from that kind of literature and how you have arrived at your Karls, Marx, Jung, and how you arrive at other philosophers, Plato, Socrates, to me at least, doesn't seem like a natural progression, because the other space is very politically charged, very militant, very amandla. And the philosophy space, which you seem to have channeled it into and are trying to kind of make it coexist. Well, at least in my brain, it didn't coexist before. Was that a natural progression, or did you like you said, you needed to pay bills and did you consciously say militancy and being charged and being loud is gonna be an inhibitor more than it will be a fuel to my thing. Did you consciously do that, or was it just a natural thing to say, okay, I've conscientized and read these guys, but I wanna view it from a different angle?
Man, that's a good question. Damn.
It's a tangent, though.
Yeah, it's an amazing question. Damn, man, that's a loaded question. It was not a conscious thing that I planned out.
Yeah.
I had an accident, 2016, December. I don't know what it did to me, because from the accident to the hospital, they say I was conscious, but I was not. I don't remember
You
anything.
don't remember it?
I don't even remember like 10 minutes before the accident.
Lemoma. I think I need to speak with I don't know what they call them, but the person who puts anesthesia on someone, I need to invite one of them or a number of them, and I would like to have a conversation with them about consciousness.
Okay.
Even till this day,
Yeah.
And my friend who I was with in the accident, he also doesn't remember
Sure.
anything. The only thing he remembers is us bleeding in the car. Are you okay? I'm okay. Are you okay? I'm okay. Are you okay? I'm okay. He says we just continue repeating that.
Sure.
That did something to me.
Okay.
I cannot explain to you what it did to me, but there was a change in me.
The main reason I bring that up is because that accident was weird. Au feturi uye mijwalo uile morena le mo mathomo au feturi. Then you guys come in, au feturi uye mijwalo. That's a jam. Either way, I thank the Lord for keeping me. Amen.
Then, I'm a pastor's kid, so whenever I would engage in things which are not very pastor kiddish, Socks would go like, "Hey man, like, what's up with this thing? You don't need to try
Where you
out these
going?
things."
Where you going? Yeah.
So, in the cycles I was in, I started starting the whole plant-based thing.
Yeah.
I started taking marijuana.
Yeah.
And then putting it into the smoothies.
Yes. Yes.
Now, I was on socks, I
Yeah,
remember.
yeah.
I was on socks, and I'm still answering your question about how it happened.
Sure.
But I think it played a huge role.
Yeah.
And socks was like, no, man, I prefer this one. This one is like, there's no, like, socially, you're not a smoker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I hardly did it, but whenever I did it, it was like, come on stage, So,
I'm not promoting the use of substance. Okay, actually, this is not funny. I'm trying to make a point to how I got here. This was an important, let me not say milestone. This was an important event that took place for me to get here. Yeah, so kids, don't do substances. With that being said, I really would like to speak to a number of people. I already have their contacts. Yeah, I met a lot of them at the Cannabis Expo. Yeah, but let's get back to the
I'm with him and I'm cool, And we're driving, and as he's driving, I'm texting him like, whoa. Did you driving too fast? He's driving like 80.
Now the marijuana is saying, "What's up?"
Socks is just looking at me like he's saying, I hope he's not. This boy better be tripping. So we get to the store, Now I'm feeling good.
Yeah, yeah.
Feeling good. The anxiety's moved back a bit, And I'm now exploring different characters, Like
Sure.
I was like, I'm in this lane. I was like, what if I go into that lane? Success on the queue. What if I get there and I'm like completely full blown gay? Like, yeah, that's a good idea. Then I start playing it out in my mind. It's like, okay, well, success. I know success is gonna go like Hanudia Yuangar, because like I should accuse him of being homophobic.
Now you're creating things in your head.
Then I'm like, yeah, but it doesn't represent the herbs very well when I do things like this. So I was like, all right, let me leave it.
Let me leave it alone.
However, I was very hyper, you know.
Mm.
A friend of mine, she's a producer. She was working on an idea, and I remember this is where the change came about.
Yeah.
We're working on this concept about men who are coming out and say, I used to be an abuser. We're working on a concept that we needed to pitch.
Sure.
And then I remember emphasizing something to her, that if the women are not part of it, let's can it, let's stop it.
Sure.
Something like that, you know.
Yeah.
And then she's cool, so we're still opening up different ideas of how to do this. But I'm saying, hey, however we do it, this is the gate. So
women need to be part of
Yes.
this thing. Yeah.
So, and then I kept on saying that. Then I said something to her, which is unfair, which I apologized to her. I apologized to you. You remember I apologized to you. I said to her, I was like we need to do it my way because my way is the only way that's the best way.
I hear you.
And then I, in a way, I insulted her. I insulted her and her intelligence by saying that I'm the brightest who can ever actually think about this. Like, a little bit Kanye, so
Yeah.
And she's like, hey, man, Stage, what's happening?
What's going on?
Just the two of us here, what's happening? You know. Then I sat there, I'm like, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to say that. I didn't think it came out well. And I started asking, I was like, do you think I'm doing well in life?
Yeah.
And she's like,
Then you started to ask the existential questions.
Then she's like, well in life. We're here because of you. This is her now also.
Yeah.
We're here because of you. Because like, God, listen, so we're upstairs.
Yeah.
On the second floor, and then downstairs, you know, in Fourways.
Oh, the office. Yeah.
So I'm like, the stage you guys see every day is the guy downstairs.
Yeah.
Now this is the highest stage. And I said to her, I'm like, listen, I'm like, what's the one quality about me that it's evident that you know? Like, it's, this guy is this.
Yeah.
And she said to me, is like, listen, I know very bright people.
Yeah.
Stage is bright.
Yeah.
Start crying.
Okay.
Because I never knew that. My whole life.
You didn't know it, or you didn't comprehend it. It was so like, I can't remember which celebrity I watched.
Yeah.
The question was asked. They were like, so how was it growing up poor?
Yeah.
And this celebrity was like, I knew no other reality, so that was fine.
Yeah.
I wasn't sad about where I was.
Yeah.
So I say that to say, like, didn't you know it, or you are who you are, and you have had no need to compare or to evaluate who you are from an academic perspective, an intellectual, an IQ's perspective, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe you just were who you were, and someone telling you that kind of just brought your attention to it.
Yeah.
First of all, I'd like to send a shout out to Tawani. He speaks so well. He's so calm. He's so relaxed. I'm envious of people like this, because when I speak, I'm like, my father used to say to me when I was a kid, especially when socks comes around, he said I was too excited when socks comes around. I don't want to see a lot of things, because socks, they would come for like a few hours and leave. So I was trying to tell him all the stuff. My dad would be like, Tabo, da. Oh, da. That would hurt my feelings. But I'm glad I don't do da. I try. But I'm realizing that I'm not calm. Let's get back to it.
I've known my wife since grade 2.
Yeah.
And sometimes she tells me the things I would do in primary. And there's a temptation to cry. Because
You didn't see them like that?
now since I'm here, I'm like, oh yeah, I did go to the library almost every day, but I'd never do my homework.
Your life is full of ironies, man. Your life is full of ironies.
Because where I lived was close by the library, and I remember the lady who was working at the library. I went with his son to high school. I think his name was Dan, and I'd always get there, and then the encyclopedia I was like, I loved the encyclopedia, and sometimes I'd go to him like, hey, I'm looking for a book that is about fishes. Like I just want to read about fish.
Yeah.
Right? I just learned that fishes is an actual word. Yeah, but either way, let's not get into that.
Let's not.
So I'd learn something, and then at school they'd always go like, hey, this is after break we're gonna go for sports, so you guys have brought your sports clothes, and does anyone have a question, or are you guys fine? They say I was always there.
Yeah, with the question.
And never really a question, because I didn't care about what we were gonna do. I always had a comment like, like, do you know the city which has the most bicycles in the world?
Because you're reading an encyclopedia now.
Did you know that a snake, when the thing that it does, the thing outside, do you know that it brings it and then it dunks it in? That the information is moved through like liquid.
Yeah.
Oh, like so through like an ink. So it's like.
Did you know that?
Why does this matter?
Wait, did you know that? Did you know that? I need to double check that myself because I was in primary. But did you know that? That's the elephant in the room. Did you know that? I'm joking.
They just laugh at me.
Yeah.
She told me that I wanted to have a dog show in primary. It's like, she said, you volunteered at the veterinary in Limpopo.
Yo.
Me?
You don't remember that?
I was like, Flip, I do remember the board.
Yeah.
Till this day, I can't spell veterinarian. When they're like, write what you want to be when you grow older, I just wrote a vet. Wrote the whole thing, veterinarian. How do they? Veterinarian. Vet Kuken Mahuta, no. Veterinarian. I feel like the other part is unnecessary. Veterinarian. You know what? It's fine.
So all these things,
It's fine. It's not even that necessary.
as I go through them, I failed. My parents tried to take me to school early. I failed
Yeah.
my first grade,
Yeah.
and then I failed my 11th grade. And I think the as soon as you fail, let's say you're broke, right? Every time you hear the word broke, you think it's referring to you.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with you. It's like when you failed at something, and you hear the word fail, it feels like it identifies with you.
I think is it cognitive bias? I think it's called that. Once it comes into your field of awareness, then everything becomes about it. Yeah.
So the thing which I thought was like, well, I don't want to identify as that.
As a failure.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I think I started becoming this guy who's like informed, right? I don't even know what I'm doing, but I'm just generally informed about
You just want to know things.
At school, I call myself a bryologist. I'm like, I can measure the size of your brow. I posted this the other day on
What's going on?
I was like, then they called me a bryologist. Some girls like, no, they didn't. You called yourself.
You didn't use. No one called you that, sir.
And then I was like, I just first say to her, none of you were creative enough to come up with a name like that, you know. And either way, the same girl who was speaking, she was new to the school, and every guy was like,
Yeah.
who's that girl?
About her, yeah.
So when she got into a class, LO was the class, you know.
Sure.
Live orientation.
Yeah.
Let's go like, so States, here's a new person. Let's see if you can do that.
Measure, do your thing.
I had a questionnaire.
Yeah.
So that I can get to know her. So I would have a questionnaire and then ask her, hey, how are you doing? What's your favorite this? Are you wearing a vest inside? Are you wearing okay?
Yeah.
And then I'd these kind of things, like I am a bryologist, I came up with the Cartesian plane case. I don't think I'm able to put into words like how good like Cat Williams was in his prime. Like he owned comedy. But I was always curious about how did he come up with that? Because he thought it through. Like he has this joke about when you're in trouble, don't call your black friends. It's like they will interrogate you harder than the police. Where were you at? Who were you with? Why didn't you call me? And it's like, how did he think about that? A lot of people I was listening to, they moved around the conversation of sex a lot. So I ended up also getting inspiration there. So hence I called, like, people at school were not creative enough in my LO class to call me a bryologist. So I needed to like tell them, guys, I am a bryologist. I specialize in, I know the ins and outs of a bra. And I'd spend like just the whole period talking just about bras, like how to take them off. Like, hallelujah. Jesus. Then I'll tell them about the Cartesian plane case.
Yeah.
I invented the case.
You invented it.
I invented the case. It's like your partner needs to be shorter than you. It was a whole thing in high school. It was a whole weird vibe in high school.
Oh my God.
So in that room when Musa says that to me and I start crying.
Yeah.
And your question is that are you comprehending that? No, there's a song by James Blake. Suddenly I'm hit. It's like akasokwe I was hit by that information. I was not aware of it.
Yeah.
I think it's similar to the accident I was in. We were not aware of the car. It just came out of the blue and just took us out.
You were hit, yeah.
So, start crying. Then I start asking her like questions about this. I'm like, then I started calling everyone, calling my dad. It's like, why is it that you never told me that I'm like this?
That I'm different.
Now everyone's answer's the same. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
No, like I just feel like as my father.
You should have said, yo.
And then we're not letting you get jokes. So that's that's my dad. You know?
Yeah.
My mom was more. My dad was like, hey, but Steve, these things have been said about you.
Yeah.
When you were very, very young by people who don't know you. Okay?
Yeah.
My mom says this to me, it's like, and this is close to my heart, it's like, Taba, I can't hide you from the world anymore. When my mom said that to me, I remember I was emotional, I was crying. We're having a very heavy conversation. And that we can't hide you from the world. There's this thing I once had Jordan Peterson speak about. It's like, what is a mother? A great example of a mother is like Mary, the mother of Jesus. You give birth, you nurture as much as you can, you protect as much as you can, and then you release your child so that they can go face their death. And I took it that way. Whatever that means, moms.
Yeah.
I'll take that. Sounds poetic.
Yeah.
And I start calling everyone in my life. Why didn't you tell me I'm like this? Because I think I'm kind of enjoying this. Like,
yeah.
So all of you guys know.
It's like, welcome to your life. It's been here all along.
Yeah, it's like,
welcome to the party.
And I'm not saying this to strangers. I'm saying this to people who are very
people
close
that
to
know you. Yeah.
It's like, I think like being in my life is like an exercise of some sort, like an LO experiment, like life orientation experiment. Yeah, I used to say some weird stuff to them. I'm like, how many geniuses do you know in your life? And they just lie to me. It's like, I just used it.
would just lie to me. It's like, not some other people, but States, you're up there. Oh man, I'm surrounded by liars, man.
And I'm not legit jokes, So then I started thinking to myself that, so from failing a grade and trying to not identify as a failure, to be in a position in which I remember my father there was a lot of people who are like, academics and intellectuals.
Yeah.
And my father, who is a reader of note, he's like, you can read a lot of books, you can't keep up with him.
Yeah.
And I was like, I download books for fun. Like
That's what it is.
I could just start reading about dams, frogs.
Yeah.
No, but why do frogs exist in these kind of places where there's fungi? And I try to connect a relationship. Now I'm trying to read two books at the same time, but I'm not trying to read the book. I'm just trying to find the place to connect.
Yeah. To be like, why does this relationship exist in the ecosystem? Yeah.
At school, I never got an opportunity to even understand fungi.
Yeah.
To ask that question.
Yeah.
So, I think I never understood that. I thought it was just me being me.
Yeah.
I'm just another guy who went to film school.
Yeah.
He's kind of like trying to make movies, and he started a business. He's close with his cousin.
Yeah.
But then over time, when I look at my life, I'm like, whoa. This is not a life of a normal person. The people in my life, the people my mentor was saying to me is like, States, when they say, my sheep know my voice, and he was translating it, that States, when you talk, you're able to talk about economics, and then you move out of economics, and then you talk about the Amazon and how it's affecting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then from that you talk about global warming. From that, then you talk about the plant-based and eating plant-based. From that, you talk about self-driving cars, and from that you talk about. So it's like States.
But sorry to cut you off, but all of those things come back to economics. In my experience with you, if you start somewhere, no matter where you go, there's a tether to the initial thing.
If I get an opportunity where I'm able to have a conversation with someone, I eventually get back there. But sometimes it's like I'm not able to get there because maybe someone does not know me well enough.
Yeah, people don't know how to bring it back.
So, but over time I've realized I'm a bit relaxed. But back then, the pain of not being understood was, I could feel it, There's another picture that says, and the guy is also driving, it's like, you can understand me, but you cannot feel what I feel.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You can't take it from what he's saying.
Yeah.
So
before you carry on, I think it's beautiful that you've landed here and that you've explained it this way, because I feel like it gives the full picture to what States of Mind is. Of the people you've sat with so far on here, I've met some, and the fields of study or work that they practice in are so different, but you can genuinely sit there and have a robust conversation around it. So I'm happy that the story led us here, because you going through all of that contextualizes States of Mind for
the
your
mess.
people.
It's like an avant-garde painting.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's like, it says let go of everything that is holding you.
Yes.
Not like let go. It is holding you, but let go of it. Even it's like when people are looking at paintings and they
go abstracts.
So it's like
Yeah.
My mom said this at the wedding. I said it in one of the other episodes. She's like, and she was searching for it. She's like, Tabo. And you could tell that she's struggling to explain me. She's like, Then she's like, "Tawaka smukushi." But then she said something powerful. And this is how I understood her. I'm not sure how everyone understood her.
Yeah.
It's like, "Nake felele jaka hore ke nna mare."
Okay.
At the end of everything, and
I'm
yeah, because I'd be buying bunny showers at home. I'm with my mom, just the two of us, and then she was like, "The other time when I called you, when you said you're lonely, what do you mean? Because you're not lonely." Obviously, it's a parent.
yeah.
I'm like, "Mama, you see that car driving by,
Yeah.
right? Do you see the smoke that's coming out of the car, right? Do you see the other car that's driving? Do you see that you can't see the smoke? Yeah, but there's still stuff coming out of that car,
Yeah.
right? I'm aware of that, and I can't share it with you."
Yeah. Yeah.
And even if it doesn't matter what I think a solution is, the problem is the mere fact that there's certain things which I think it's Carl Jung who says, is it him or Freud? It might even be Nietzsche. It's like the one who knows a bit more than others, they are faced with loneliness.
You become a stranger amongst men.
Definitely, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's why my mom has finalized by calling me a philosopher. That's what she calls me now. Would be sitting down for tea and it's like, "Oh, what? I'm like, "Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
like, oh,
We don't got that kind of time, boy.
oh, philosopher." And I don't take it as an insult. I think it's her. Like, you know how my mom, like, whenever I say I'm taking CBD, I always share with the people in my life what I take.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be in a position where it feels like I'm hiding anything.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
I study the things I take.
Yeah. Yeah.
My mom took CBD, agami.
Yeah.
Then the other time she took some shrooms.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to have her on the podcast as well.
Yeah.
And
Ubile Morena. Before the national elections, imagine if we all gave our parents psychedelics. Guys, I'm just trying to think outside the box about how we can change our situation in the country. Get your parents some psychedelics. My mom always does this thing where if I come with stuff, she takes it. I'm her dealer. I'm joking. I think she just wants, she cares, and she's like, what the hell is my child up to, you know? But imagine the elections. Imagine if you went out with your parents and took psychedelics. I'm going to invite someone on the podcast so that I can have a conversation with them about psychedelics, because I don't think I am competent enough to introduce this.
with the shroom, she's like, this one's no.
She was like, no.
Like, this one's, after she came back, she was like,
Because they're psychedelics, right?
she's like, no, this one's, they show you fake things. With the CBD, she couldn't feel it. She was just laughing. She was like, when we were laughing at her laughing, she's like, what are you guys laughing at?
Yeah.
Because that's actually funny.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
we're like, no, just let's leave you. So that's another side of states of mind that I speak. So I've already recorded a number of interviews.
Yeah. You're 15 deep, right?
I'm 15 deep.
Okay. How's that been?
Painful.
Okay.
Painful because this is 2004. This is 2024.
Yeah.
I thought I started recording in 2014.
Yeah.
This is 2024.
Mm.
I started recording 2023 April.
Yeah.
April, May, June. So in those 3 months, like, I had 15 episodes.
Sure.
But I couldn't edit them. I think I'm not complaining about it, but on the other side, there were very good things that are happening in my life.
Absolutely.
The business was flourishing, it was scaling up, and we were struggling to figure out
How to keep up?
yeah, like, and we were also failing at certain things, you know. for the first time, you have a growing ratio of unhappy clients, and they're not unhappy because of the work. They're unhappy because of maybe the systems that you have in place.
They're not efficient.
Yeah, you know.
But those are growing pains, though. You know?
Yeah, so I take things personally, so it's like,
Yeah.
so I'm like, what? So I don't say anything to them. I just talk to Socks. But while those things were happening, my creative life 2023, I think, I feel like the devil has conquered in that field in my life.
Okay.
Yeah, you know.
I hear you.
Yeah, I
Let's just pause it right there because we're bringing up Diablo. It's getting hot in here. This part gets me emotional a lot of times. I don't know. I've been. I don't know how to explain this. I do not have the words yet. I'm not wise enough to explain how I feel about not creating stuff. And I think when I do, I hope I'm aware and I hope I do communicate it. It's too painful. Things which are too painful, when you try to communicate them, they sound very unnecessary, you know. I hope that I'll be able to explain it. Because right now, I'm just going to be yapping.
No one cares, and no one should care. Like, it's a weird place to be because it's like, it's a painful thing. Yeah, what should we do with that?
But it's a reality. Like,
it's different from, I crashed my car, I don't have it anymore.
yeah.
You know, flip. You know, maybe I have a third car, you can borrow you.
Even then, no one really cares. Like, no one really cares. Like, but yeah.
I get what you're saying. So, where was I?
I'm sorry.
Where was I?
I'm sorry. The devil conquering and,
Yes.
and yeah.
So when I say it's painful, is because I was not able. Also, I was living in Northwest, different province, and I was having the podcast in Gauteng.
Yes.
So even my times and everything, I was like,
You needed to drive up to shoot.
I was stretching myself. Also, I don't have a crew.
Yeah.
It's not like I get there and then people set up cameras and sound and I just get here and I start talking.
You get here and set up.
I don't like doing that. I don't know. In the business, I don't do it.
Yeah.
I haven't done it in a while. So having to do it is like, flip, when people come here, they're used to me paying them. So they're looking at me like, hey, man, we're working here to get paid.
So you need to do it yourself.
Yeah, so, it's painful because I did not follow through on what I started. And everything else that I have for why it did not happen is just my excuses. It's not reasons, it's excuses. So, yeah, it's painful.
I hear you, but we are recording this one, which means that there's progress, which means that they start dropping, and you follow through on what you had envisioned. I think my next question, having spoken about where you are and what you're trying to do, the business will grow. You recently got married. We all know what the natural progression of that is. Life is not going to get easier or simpler for you. Are you ready for those growing pains, number one? In the sense that, do you know if your creative life will survive all of that?
Yeah, man.
Including this pod.
I wish I could just have a separate video just on pain. Not how to reduce it or how to identify it or whatever. Just pain. Just the older I get, I realize that
it becomes more evident, but it also becomes harder to address, you know. It's not that nobody cares about your pain. It's that they also have their own pain. And if we are both wounded, who treats who? I didn't plan for this to be serious and stuff.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Jordan Peterson has a line. I think I try my best to work by it. He says, if you're a creative and you're sure you're a creative, the part of being sure that you're a creative is the more important part than being a creative.
Yeah.
And you're sure you're a creative, then put the rest of your life in order so that your creativity can be out of order.
That phrasing makes it sound like the creativity comes first.
I almost said Helen Keller. Timothy Keller has a book. It's titled Idols. I won't lie, the thing I'm most concerned about is, what if I have created an idol out of my imagination / creative pursuit? I've considered that a lot because it is a very important thing to me. I can't explain it. I can only do it and show. That's the best way to explain it. Because it says, now the things which are cardinal to your life, which are important, like your job, what puts food on your table, your relationships, all those things, it refers to them as the rest.
Yes.
But this is if you're an artist. And now this is the difficult part. It's being caught in between what I desire and what is required.
Yeah. More often than not, those things are different. Yeah.
And they're pulling you in. I think in the movie The Great Debaters by Denzel Washington, there's this scene where he explains to one of the boys who was giving him problems in the debating team is that they used to take the strongest man as soon as they see the strongest
lynching.
man.
Yeah.
And they take one horse, the other horse, and they start like hitting the horses, and the horses are trying to run.
Yeah.
And they tear the person apart, you know.
Yeah.
I think being able to comprehend different states of yourself, right? It's I think it comes through helpful if you're able to understand. Oh, there's a part of me that is there's a life. I have a life of health. I have a spiritual life. I have a life of relationships. I have a life of this. And if you're able to break them down, they work to your benefit. Unlike if you were ignorant to everything, it's like life is just life. I'm just doing this. You know?
Yeah, I'm winging it.
Yeah, my mind is not fully concentrating on the conversation. So I'm making a song in my head. The name of the song is called Lose It All. Lose it all. And there's another voice which is like reverb, like, are you willing? Then the other voice is a bit forced to lose it all. Then the first verse of the song explains the first meal you need to get as soon as you're homeless, and then it just shows the challenges of getting a meal. Because when you ask people that, hey, listen, I just need some money for like bread, or hey, can I get help, you realize, oh, it's actually harder when you lose it all. But then the hook comes in. I don't know what the hook is, but then the chorus is just, are you willing to I think that lose it all, I think just that word, it would have like a choir behind it. Lose it all. Like, I don't know how to make a choir. Lose it all. There's a song by Corey Henry and this guy. I need to find that song because this song is amazing. Yeah, I'll make that song maybe. I have a lot of songs like, I have a lot of stuff like this that I actually never made. Listen to this. That's what I meant. You are my mirror, just a reflection I see. Winging it might work to your advantage, but I think it's I'm not sure if I said this or someone said this. It's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's how knowledge works, you know.
Sure.
You don't go like, listen, I just know this thing. This is my corner in the world. I'm gonna hit it like everything. Like, you know, the idea that if you have a hammer, then every problem is like a nail. You know, it's like, what about problems that don't need hammers?
Yeah.
You're gonna hammer them. So
Because that's all you know.
yeah, so I think my wife has been amazing. We joke about it right now, like me whining about. It's the only thing I whine about. There's this other time she's taking a break at work, and I went to visit her, and then it's in the evening,
Yeah.
and then she says to me, I realize that me and you have different priorities. I'm like,
Yeah.
what do you mean we have different priorities? And then she's like, "Nam priority like
Yeah.
like making sure that Mutsu not like why or
Yeah.
okay.
That's a good priority to have.
That's
I mean,
a good one.
it's honorable.
Yeah. It's like what are the arts? The arts, the creativity. You know? And that's the world you wanna live in, you know. And there's a brother of mine I've been helping. I just started helping him out.
Yeah.
He's down and out, you know.
Yeah.
He's down and out. Like I've never known a person in my life who's that out in life.
Sure.
And I said to him, he's creative. I was telling you about him today.
Yeah. I remember the chat. Yeah.
And I said to him, I was like, man, I'm giving you the space to be able to work for a month.
Yeah.
I'll pay for this place.
Yeah.
I felt it was emotional for me because I told him, I can't afford what I'm giving you.
I can't. But
I
I'm giving
can't
it.
afford it.
But I'm giving it.
Like I want what I'm giving you.
Yeah.
I can't afford it.
Yeah.
I don't have a space and a time to just go like, hey man, I have a month on my hands
To just work.
to just work.
Yeah.
So, to answer your question, I doubt I'll be able to manage it.
Okay. Honest answer.
I doubt I'll be able to manage it.
Yeah.
I hope that I've fostered enough relationships to assist me in those creative, trying times.
Yeah. It's first of all, you are very lucky to have a wife that says, I don't have to understand what it is. I just understand that it's part of who you are. Enough for me to joke about. Very, very lucky to find a partner like that.
Yeah.
And I know maybe the conversations around it are not easy, but very lucky to have someone that gets it like that.
Yeah.
Two, I think you've fostered those relationships. I mean, fundamentally, your business at its very core is an art form, and so you are never too far away from it. But as we both know, that feels like work, and the other stuff feels like play.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you've fostered enough of those. And the reason I asked that question is because the content game and the world we've been living in of late is one of consistency, and we have many conversations about that.
Yeah.
And that's why I asked, just consistency, longevity.
Yeah.
And I know right now there's no real plan around this content level.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I had to ask the question.
Yeah.
I guess the audience, your audience, maybe you'd want to share that level of information.
Yeah.
I think I want to ask one more question. Then from me, the questions will be done. Right now, it feels as though most of the conversations you have work the way they do because you have a prior relationship off camera to the person you have here.
Yeah.
So you're able to probe and lead. What happens when you run out of those people?
Yeah, man, you're throwing some. I wish I was able to ask. So I think at first I thought this was going to be a very academic podcast where we talk about like research papers and and people come through. We talk about their thesis and everything and just industries, and I thought it was going to be about that,
Yeah.
But when I had to start out, it's like, then who am I going to call? Then I realized, first of all, I'm not that much of an academic. And
You
two,
are a lover of knowledge, though. Yeah.
but I'm almost not an academic. And then two, it was like the people who are in academics, who are academics, they're not fond of this.
Okay.
Like coming out here, talking, and it's like, why do I have to talk about it on camera? Like, So I was like, why do I sound like a beggar now? Just come, let's talk.
Yeah.
So for what I realize is that one, I'm not good at this. This I'm not good at having a conversation and fulfilling the conversation, right?
Okay.
Socks always says that states you can go to any client and have a meeting with them. There's only one challenge with you. Point of departure.
Yeah. I get him.
Because you had a 1 hour meeting with a client and now you're with the client for 5 hours. But we don't have a point of departure.
Yeah.
Do we have that gig?
Do we have it or not?
Like, listen, Socks, it's not about the gig. So my plan then is this, is like, okay, Stace, you need to practice this.
Sure.
You have no experience in broadcasting,
Sure.
in being in front of the camera and speaking to people.
Sure.
So what are you trying to do? I remember at first it was like, because of the ideas of death and I'm gonna die. But wait, when one is dead, what's the value that they leave? So if it's a painter, it's the painting. So if it's a musician, So it's like, I can't really work on a craft right now, Then I thought to myself that while writing the book, because I take a lot of voice notes.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait, so language models are gonna be able to go through all my content. And when you ask if they were to be put into like an actual bot of some sort, you'd be able to ask hypothetically states a question.
Yeah.
Even though it's not states, because states is no more.
But
however, it's all the footprints that he has left. How he answers a question is that he has this beat before he answers. Whenever he answers, he always goes to science, philosophy, biblical, religious. Okay, so it wouldn't start with that. It wouldn't start with a liberal idea when it's answering. So,
do you guys get what I'm saying? I'm onto some very serious stuff here. Eh? Imagine if my great-great-grandfather had a TV show, let's just say a podcast, and all his content was online. I could transcribe everything. I could download all his episodes, transcribe them,
and then take that information, put it in a bot, let it learn how he starts conversations, what he's interested in, and everything. And then I can now begin to say, from all these things, can we extract this information to build his character a bit more? And then in building that, I'm able to, the same way Albert Einstein has books, I'm able to have a conversation with Albert Einstein's knowledge that he has left on paper. According to the 4th chapter of the book that he released about this, can you please advise me about which subjects to choose moving forward if you were my grandfather? That's weird, actually. But it's supposed to be weird, so. Damn, then I started imagine having a conversation with my great-grandfather.
Yeah.
That's when it hit me. Oh, flip, that would be interesting. Flip, I've lost both my grandfathers, both my grandmothers. Damn, then you need to speak to your parents on camera.
Yeah.
Because when they're gone, that conversation will be valuable because it's recorded.
Yeah, it's yeah.
And just to ask them fundamental questions like, what would you like to see come out of my life?
Yeah.
Not that I'm going to live by that, but I'm interested in seeing
knowing,
that.
Yeah.
So, I'm planning on shooting like 100 episodes.
Yeah.
I told you that the whole of Jan I wanted to post an episode.
Yeah.
You're like, nah, let's not.
let's not do that.
So
yeah.
And the main reason for that was because those feel like old conversations, even though it's not about current affairs. But either way,
I get you.
So as soon as I'm done, I have a system around this. I know exactly what I enjoy. I know what I don't enjoy about this. Right now, I'm not competing. I'm not trying to monetize anything. If you listen to me, I've never said, guys, subscribe.
Yeah.
What are you subscribing to? Because I'm figuring this thing out.
Yeah.
The word subscribe is like, imagine I'm preaching, and what I'm preaching hits a nerve, the right nerve. You're like, I hear what the preacher's preaching, and I mean, I agree with him. You say amen. Now, subscribing is like amen. It's being in agreement. If you're interested, they will subscribe. But as of now, I don't want to say I'm not chasing numbers. Numbers reflect
resonance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, when you do something and these are the numbers, you need to question: is it how many times I'm doing this, or how many times I'm not doing this, or there's something which I need to do more of, because these are just a reflection. There's a book I'm reading called Big Data. And it explains this data. I might mess this up. There's data, information, knowledge, then analysis. I'm not sure how they move. But as in, like, if you want to move forward, and this is how the big studios are doing it right now.
Yeah.
It's like they're not just there saying we make movies, but it's like we make movies and we have a platform.
Yeah.
Because Netflix is in a very amazing position, which they just started sharing their data. But the amazing position that, we've seen via watch time and this kind of trailer and this, that when people go through this thread, they end up loving this kind of movie.
Yeah.
So the majority of people on Netflix love this kind of movie.
Yeah.
So which movie should we make? This kind of movie. So it gives them the assistance to make what people want to see. However, it takes away from the stories that are yet to be told, which don't exist from the algorithm.
I was about to say that, like, it feels like data-driven stuff is good from a profitability point of view, but to an extent, some of the art may suffer because of it. I feel.
No, definitely. Definitely. With all these episodes that I'm going to have, as soon as I reach, and some of them you will find them inside these episodes.
Yeah.
Because I think those will be the most interesting to me. Because people I know, they're in certain industries. They don't have to be the titans of industry.
Yeah.
No, I'm not looking for people who are like the biggest things in that game.
Yeah.
I'm just looking because I'm just trying to understand that industry, even if it's from the entry level.
Yeah.
Because there's a saying had it from Bishop Tudor Bismarck.
Yeah.
It's like if you're not in if there's a field you're not in, whoever is the least in that field is still your master in that field.
For sure.
So it's like, okay,
Mm.
even if I know nothing about PR or
Someone who practices every day.
yeah, like for example, I'd like to speak to someone about administration
Yeah.
because I have no interest in it.
That's a pivotal part of business. What's going on?
Can we chat about it at least?
I hear you.
Yeah, so I think as soon as I get there, then I'll start competing.
Sure.
I'll start putting down a strategy. Okay, this is States of Mind. This show is about this.
This is what the value I want the viewers to derive from it. This is, but for now, you are yourself learning.
Yeah. And it's like,
Clean.
I don't want to get paid for learning.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think for this 100 episodes, I doubt I don't want to ever say subscribe because it's like, I might change, go like, listen, I don't see the point of this.
Yeah. I'm out.
I'm out. Now it's that old page, that just that old content, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm also trying to measure value,
Mm.
what I deem to be valuable, and how I can share that value.
Sure.
Money is like a technology that we came up with,
Sure.
and the technology is not valuable, but it is a representative of what is valuable.
Yeah.
So in that same fashion, when they say content is king, it's like, even if people are just watching hacks and people
Yeah.
pranking each other,
Yeah.
people find value from that because it does something for them. Whether it's good for them or it's bad for them, in that instance, someone who's high on whatever, they according to them, they found value in that. You know?
Yeah.
People who go and watch soccer games in the weekend, they find value in that. And some people watch soccer games, some people go to a poetry show.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, one of this has to be whack. No.
Both of them
to
are
everyone,
valuable.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I think when you came up with this idea of, hey, States, actually, because I already have an interview with you,
Yeah. We've already done it.
which we ask you, hey, who are you? Because people are like, who is this guy talking to States?
Yeah.
So
It will drop.
It will
Yeah.
drop.
Yeah.
It's edited. So I'm not going to only do the podcast here.
Yeah.
There's something I want to do called 1,000 Years to Learn.
I'm one of those people who speaks passionately about the things I want to do, and I hardly do any of them. With this one, I think whenever I'm really interested in something, there's something in my brain that says, hey, you need to study this. And then I'm like, nah, I don't. So I think I've found like a model for me to learn things which I think I really would like to learn and which are necessary. Or I might just be crazy. So we'll just see how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just me learning about the past 1,000 years, right? Because I realize there's so many things I don't understand, man. Like,
Ish. And given the cyclical nature of life, it might be worthwhile going back that far, because some of the things are coming back around. you
yeah.
know?
What's my? Okay, my thing is this: study hard what interests you. Study hard what interests you the most, in the most undisciplined, irreverent, and
Oh,
original manner. Richard Feynman.
that's been your screensaver for a while.
For a while, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, if you want to learn something, because I'm realizing that if I'm going to try learn everything how, I'm not good at learning how I'm expected to learn.
Yeah.
I have more than enough evidence of that.
Yeah.
So the best thing to do is like, I have my own way of learning, you know.
Mm.
It's like, okay, I'm interested in understanding in the 14th century,
Mm.
like, what were the different parts of the world called? What were the minerals we found? Which technologies did we have? Which kind
Yeah.
of medicine have we already figured out?
Mm.
And all those kind of stuff, you know. Something which has been something I enjoy a lot is like, I go on these websites, research papers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm fascinated that someone spending their time and effort
And money.
to just go look into this, you know.
And like it's silly things. It's silly things. Someone on the internet already shared this, but it's an example I think that will be relatable
Yeah.
to most people. It's like the work day 8 to 5.
Yeah.
There were reasons, there were whatever, but fundamentally,
Yeah.
because of the time and the industrial revolution of the time, sunlight was the best hours to work. And in that region, the sun was out at 7, the sun set at 6. So 8 to 5 was the most productive time to work.
Get you.
We are no longer in that industrial revolution. Why is it still relevant? You know, it's like learning things like that may contribute to like...
To retire. I'm so interested in retiring. It's the most important thing in my life. Learning about how to retire, why we retire, why it's important to think about retirement early. I'm going to blow your mind with something.
Yeah.
When I start these things, I want to use these words by Flip. What's the name of the writer? I can't forget this guy. He wrote a book, Fahrenheit. I forgot the numbers. I don't remember numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think because when I was learning numbers, I was not learning them visually.
Yeah.
But either way, Fahrenheit 573, for example.
Yeah.
And it's like it's the measure of at that amount of heat. That's when the paper starts burning.
Okay.
It's a book, right?
Yeah.
So I just started reading the book. I never knew it's the book, and thanks to AI, I've been searching for this book for almost 10 years.
Sheesh.
I had it in Optical Illusions. They have a song, I think it's called Outcast or something like that. At the end, there's a guy who comes in and says, when we speak about knowledge, we're not just talking about enamel facts.
Yeah.
But when you know and you know that you know, you will build an inner quality of assurance that can never be shaken.
Yeah.
You will have to your own mind not only your own thoughts, but to those of the wisest men out of all the breadth of human experience. You will get the great minds to work with and for you. You will have an unlimited reservoir of knowledge in which you can drink from.
Yes.
So as you read these books and read these newspapers, as you do that in a consistent and a persistent manner, remember to do that with a purpose. Spend time with the experts in your field as you read them aloud. And what they do is give an expression by you.
Yeah.
This part is poetic. I promise you, a lot of their power will remain with you. You will learn into your own thinking the accent of greatness.
Yeah, no. I think that's because now we've tapped into this place where we have our normal conversations and we won't stop. Yeah. But I think that quote and that poetic way you just ended, I think is like the perfect bow on this gift.
Yeah.
We've wrapped it, and that quote just is a testament to the hunger for knowledge, wherever it comes from, however it comes, if it's verifiable or not, if it's intuitive or academic or scientific and researched, all of the things that critical thinking can be applied to, and hopefully shift someone's perspective just a little bit, because changing your trajectory 1 degree now lands you in a very different place in 10 years. Because if you look at it on a graph, you would be going here, but if you switch, you go much further. I hope for the best for the pod, man. I hope life is kind and fair to you, and your creativity and your art. I will try the best I can to walk alongside in whichever capacity I am able to, and hopefully we make magic.
Amen.
Amen.
We will definitely make magic. I think something which I'd like to speak to myself about.
Yeah. Let's go. I love this. Let's go.
Because I make people do this, and sometimes
Yeah.
I'm like, flip, I need to make people do this.
Oh, to your younger self?
Yeah, to your younger self. You know?
Okay, let me ask it. Let me ask it so it feels right. Let me ask it so it feels right. So States, that's your camera over there.
Okay.
On the other side of that camera is a younger you. Let's make him 16. 16-year-old version of you. What do you say to him right now in this moment?
Damn, man, I've never thought of that question. How long do I have with this boy, man?
For the purpose of this pod, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Let me summarize.
Speak to your heart's content.
Hey, man. I kind of know how you're feeling, which is you're trying your best. You're perfect, man. And that might be an understatement. Your love is human. Your hate is clean. Thank you for keeping us alive. Thank you for staying away from the things that would have brought us to our demise. Thank you for failing. Thank you for failing, dude. I know it was tough for you. Thank you for failing. Oh, you're about to fail next year. My bad. No, never mind that. Because
You already failed in grade 1. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Be more kinder to every girl that is in your life. I know you're gonna be honest, but be kinder. Like, and not that you're not kind, just but there's room to improve, you know. To every single girl, like just be kinder. Hey, man, and I love you, man. Big time.
That's the one.
I love you.
That's the one.
Thank you so much.
Do you want to answer the other one also? Let's go. Knowing everything you know from 16 to now,
Yeah.
and not knowing what you don't know from now to 60, what do you say to that old man? Old man States.
With the old man, I speak with less grace,
Yeah.
more arrogance. Man, hey man, Tobela,
Yeah.
Tobela, that is Tati.
Yeah.
This is the young you. Come to think about it, I'm the one who needs to make sure that we get to you.
Yeah.
Stay healthy, man. Start lifting some weights or something. 'Cause you're getting older, and you're reading about the stuff. You're not carrying weight. You know? Stay alive. Let's start there. Like, I'm glad that we've stayed alive. You know, I'm glad that, we were not wiped out by some random accident, some random hijacking. We live in South Africa right now, dude. It's intense. Not that we're moving, I'm just saying. I don't know where you're living. To your kids, if you're blessed with kids, man, be there for them. I hope this video is a reminder that you should be there for them. They need you more than you need them. Until you start shitting your pants and stuff. And another thing states, I hope you figure out a way to retire early. Like, you can't be retiring at 60, dude. Like,
Real talk.
just kill yourself, dude.
Real talk.
Let's figure out. Okay, this is me, by the way. I'm the one who needs to figure this out.
You need to figure it out.
But at that age, man, I hope you've written a number of books. I hope you have a channel of helping people. Because that means that you have more than enough to go by. I hope you're still with your wife, man. Man, just kiss her if you're next to her. Just kiss her for me.
Just say mwah.
Just mwah, huh? Damn, most likely my parents have passed on.
Yeah. Go visit their grave.
Yeah. This is a reality check for this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Def.
So, man, make money, dude. Whatever you do, just gotta make money, man. We need that money.
Please. If I'm next to you when you're 60, we can't be sogoling.
No,
Hey,
cannot.
No, but yeah, I think this was very interesting. I don't know if I did a good job at this. People, if I didn't, I'm sorry. But I tried. I tried to contextualize states of mind. I tried to contextualize everything through some questions. And I mean, if there's something we missed, there's room to have another one of these. We're learning. We can chop and change.
The difference with film and digital is that with film, it's like that film is expensive. So when you go like, no, cut, like, we need another actor on set. So with this, we're able to do it as many times as we want to. Just please comment how this was. This is the first one.
Yeah.
I think I enjoyed your questions.
Thank you, man.
They felt unfair. So they were good enough. Yeah, like I feel like a conversation should be a good boxing match.
Yeah, it's bob and weave.
You're not gonna expect that. Yeah. So it's like, it's not about an opportunity to answer. It's more about the opportunity to think about the answer.
Yeah, man.
Man. Obviously not that kind of thing. Is like, wait, I'm still thinking.
Give me time to think.
Give me time.
So,
Sorry, can you just move? I can't think while you're in my but yeah, I really enjoyed this. We'll see what we can do moving forward.
Yeah.
Still gonna have you plenty of times.
I'm easy.
Yeah, thanks so much, guys. Check out his episode in the near future. So thank you so much. States of Mind.
Aware. Wrap.